All right, guys. So we will discuss this topic that a border agreement has been signed between India and China. Currently, there is a headline which is going everywhere that External Affairs Minister Jaishankar confirmed that India and China will revert to the status quo of 2020 in terms of petroling. So this statement has been confirmed before the upcoming BRICS Summit of 2024. And before the summit, the news emerged that India and China will undertake disengagement along the line of actual control and which will reduce the tension between the two countries significantly. Now, let's look at the external influence here. Okay, so if you're wondering whether the actions of the Five Eyes group, which include US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada, have a role here, yes, the answer is a big yes, actually. So if you see, after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's aggressive stance and sanction threats against India, a strong response was needed, right? So what we were witnessing now is largely attributed to Russia's critical role in bringing India and China together. Although India and China may not openly admit Russia's involvement, recent meetings of the sidelines involving the national security advisors of both nations suggest this. Okay, so that there can be a potential role of Russia in bringing India and China closer. Now, role of Russia and high-level meetings, if you see, for instance, okay, during the visit of Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval to Russia in September 2024, we did a detailed video on that at that point of time. There was an interaction with China's representatives as well. So Russia's geopolitical forums discussed how Russia made efforts to bring India and China to the negotiating table. So a meeting also took place between Doval and China's Wang Yi in St. Petersburg, okay, and where they agreed to work on improving the bilateral relation between two countries through mutual trust and continuous communication. So Russia's significant push was evident here. All right. Okay, so that's what the Russia's role here you can see. And coming to the strategic intentions behind Russia's mediation. See, it's essential to understand that Vladimir Putin is not simply a benevolent leader. Okay, Russia has its own geopolitical interest. And the primary goal of Russia is basically to prevent a confrontation between India and China that could weaken the BRICS bloc at this point of time. So, a deteriorating relation between India and China would push India closer to the Western countries, which pose a major geopolitical challenge for Russia. So, Russia never want any discomfort within BRICS. If that happens, then India may move towards Western nations. That will be a significant challenge for Russia. So therefore, for the upcoming BRICS summit in Kazakhstan, if you see, it is very crucial for Russia that leaders like Xi Jinping, Mr. Modi, and Putin appear together, conveying the unity of BRICS. Okay, now coming to the disengagement. So that's what here we need to discuss. Coming to the disengagement part. So the result of these diplomatic meetings is finally, and the outcome is finally visible now with the confirmation from India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri that extensive meetings have taken place and both sides have, extensively discussed patrolling arrangements. So the primary issue emerged in 2020 when China's aggressive patrolling led to several conflicts like Galvan clash. Okay, so now the aim is to return to 2020 status, that situation. So the objective is to maintain the status quo of 2020, which is a significant diplomatic win for India also, and especially given the China's constant rhetoric about preparing for a war. So at this point of time, that's a significant diplomatic win we can consider. Now, the broader geopolitical context. Okay, so we discussed this already. Now coming to this. Yeah. So recently, a viral video showed Xi Jinping addressing his army, urging them to prepare for a war, indicating a shift from always be ready for a war to prepare for a war now. Okay, I repeat, there is a shift from always be ready for a war to prepare for a war now. Okay, so despite the disengagement with India, China is not naive, and China knows its primary focus for the coming years remains Taiwan. And the US is preoccupied with Ukraine and Israel at this point of time. And any conflict between India, when it comes to any conflict between China and Taiwan, would present major challenge for US. And therefore, for now, an agreement with India serves China's interest also. But that could be the reason, right? So, again, as it allows Russia to focus on its geopolitical concerns and unite BRICS. So that's again mutually supporting in all these ways. So China is basically focusing on Taiwan, easing tensions with India, and Russia is mediating between India and China, which will eventually strengthen the BRICS. When it comes to India, it's the balancing relations and that can achieve the diplomatic win on the border issues. And at this point of time, it is the best, and the US is actually occupied with Ukraine and Israel conflict. Now, coming to the next slide, BRICS unity and the future prospects we can discuss. So, see guys, when it comes to international relation, there is no permanent friends or permanent enemies, only permanent interest and the permanent goals. Okay, so as the BRICS Summit approaches, it will be fascinating to observe developments, and we will be discussing further about the updates of BRICS Summit. Okay, so in the coming session, we will be talking about that. So we are looking for good cooperation, balance, and focus on economic growth and mutual development within the BRICS framework. So that's about this session. Thank you so much for attending. And in case if you're interested in joining the mentorship programs, you can get in touch with us. The course links are given in the description. So see you guys. Thank you so much.